Well, there's no doubt that gardening can be an expensive hobby, but in today's In the Garden, we're talking about ways to save some cash.
Hey everyone, we're in the garden with our good friend Nick Federoff, and we're talking about how expensive gardening can be.
It really could be. I had someone write me an email and ask that big question. I love gardening, but I can't afford all of the plants. Yeah. So usually what we do is that if we were to buy a plant that's in a container this size and you have a plant this big, we're probably talking maybe $30, $40 for that.
Wow.
And then if you take it down a little bit, a 4-inch size container with a small plant in there, we're talking starting at $250.
Right.
Now a 6-pack like this, of course the plants are not as well developed. That's another $250 to $4 a piece. And then of course you start getting the larger containers and the money just keeps on going higher and higher. So we have to ask ourselves, what's the best way and what does it cost to do this kind of stuff? How can we alleviate those costs, if you may? Well, we're over here at the Heritage Square Museum in Montecito Heights.
Beautiful.
It's just gorgeous. And one of the things that we were talking with Jessica that works over here is that she says people come around to the coral tree every year when it seeds. And they pick the seeds right off the ground and they try to grow them. It's okay. Problem is, really hard to germinate them. So to get them to germinate is almost impossible. But that doesn't mean that it can't happen with other plants. And there's a lot of plants out there that you can do that with. And we have a couple of little great little examples here. This right here is a plumeria. And the best part about a plumeria is that if you were to chop this up in little pieces like this, don't plant it for a short while, allow the ends to callus up and get really nice and hard, plant that, it'll grow.
Really? All those individual ones?
All the individual ones. Or what you do is you could yank a plant out of the ground, not over here by the way. No.
Not in somebody else's yard.
Not in somebody else's. You got to get permission for that. You get a plant like a plant here, and you get a little bit of rootstock on there. With this particular one, another plumeria, you could actually bury it up to here. Typically, if you were, it would rot out on you. But anyway, you plant it up to here, you've already got the roots growing.
It's ready to go.
It is. You could take and you can grow things like, here's a
rosemary.
A rosemary right here, and then you just strip off some of the leaves like this, plant it in the ground. No, and it can root like that. But you got to remember, if you're going to end up doing this kind of thing, and even if with doing any of this, not a bad idea to get a little rooting hormone.
Oh, that'll help.
Yeah, you dip it in the rooting hormone, and then once you have it nice and smothered like that, then you take and you just water, you put it in your soil and you water away.
And it's that easy.
It's really just that simple. In fact, here we have a succulent, and we've actually done this in the past where we've grown these. And here again, you have some roots. All you have to do is get a little rooting hormone, put it on there like that, plant it, and watch it grow. So, your plants can get very costly the bigger they get. So if you have the time on your hands, then you can take and you can plant small and watch them grow. So I'll tell you what, you can never go wrong with planting with seeds. So let's put a little bit of soil in here.
Okay.
And let's start doing exactly that. And before we do that, we're going to do a trick that we've never shown before. And that would be by taking these coffee filters, and you see these gigantormous holes that we have in the over here?
Yeah.
We're going to cover the holes with the coffee paper so that the soil...
It'll still drain, right?
Yeah, it'll still drain, and we're not going to lose...
But the soil won't fall out.
The soil won't fall out. So we'll do this real quick over here if I can get it. Ooh, does it come apart? There you go. Thank you. All right, go ahead. Knock your socks off. Put some in there. So you're going to fill it up with a nice, rich, well-draining soil, and then... let's see, can you get your bucket and just dump it in there?
Sure.
Yeah, let's just do this. We're talking gardening here. Get a little dirty. That's it. Okay, so we'll take this like this, pat it down just a little bit. I heard you talking about the hummingbird seed a little bit earlier.
Hummingbird haven.
Yes. So seeds can't go wrong. Something like this is what? That's $4 for this?
It's going to grow a lot of flowers.
Dozens and dozens of seeds. There's 25 different varieties in here. Okay, so what you're going to do is you could actually start these off. Here's all these different varieties. You could do this in the ground, You want to take them, put some?
Sure.
Just sew them out like this.
And we can attract hummingbirds.
Yeah, and then put a very thin layer on top over here,
Okay.
and you're rocking and rolling. So if anybody wants any more information on how to grow a hummingbird garden to start in this kind of stuff, contact me through my website, thingsgreen.com, and don't forget to visit me on Facebook as well.
All right, all done.
So just pack this down, water it, stand back, and it's going to grow.
Watch the hummingbirds come.
Yeah.